Well, this weekend we flipped the calendars to February after a busy January left all of Maine cold and dry.
Is January almost over, really?
I know.
This January's been so long.
I feel like it's been short.
Really?
I know, and everyone online is like,
I saw Marissa Bodner
January
posted.
300th, and
yes.
yeah.
She's like, when does January end?
Yes. I don't know.
Funny?
I thought it was a normal month.
I think it's been flying by. So,
me too.
Meanwhile, Weather Authority meteorologist Emily Stanham joins us now with a recap of the month and what Mainers can look forward to in February. We still have a few more days of January and a few more storms to talk about.
We do. So definitely an interesting transition from January to February. We'll be tracking that over the next couple of days. But this January has been both dry and very cold. We have our calendar here, a lot of blue, a couple of red here and there. The average temperature right now is 23 degrees. The normal is 24. So we're about a degree below. We still have a couple more days, but they are trending cold though, especially for tomorrow, and a little bit mild as we head towards the weekend. The warmest day was 42 degrees earlier this month on the 19th. The coldest was 18 degrees. Really all last week. Last week was so cold. We've seen 1.61 inches of rain so far. You've probably seen this drought monitor. We're in the moderate drought for much of the state. Northern Maine seeing abnormally dry conditions. So let's head towards February. February is pretty interesting. The average high is 33 degrees on the 1st, the low is 15. We'll actually increase temperatures. Average temps will be in the upper 30s by the 28th. It's the 28th this year, not the 29th like last year. We'll see average lows in the 20s. The average precip is just a little bit over 3.5 inches. Average snowfall is 16.6. I'm interested because we only got 0.6 inches of snow last year. And we actually, it was crazy.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not even an inch of snow in February last year. We also gain an hour and 15 minutes of daylight. So we're on the rise right now as we head towards spring.
Yeah, I'm already noticing the later sunsets, which is really nice.
I agree. So let's talk about a little bit of the warmest and wettest and least snowiest Februarys. The warmest February temperature average of 32.2 was back in 1981. The most recent was 2018 with 31.6 inches, or 31.6 degrees, excuse me. The average temperature is a little over 26 degrees for the entirety of the month. What is February's mostly in the 1900s. 1900 flat had 9.25 inches of precip. This is rain and melting snow melt combined.
Okay.
Most recently 2008 at number 3 at 8.06. Usually average about 3.5 inches of rain. As we head towards least snowiest February, I wanted to bring this up because, you know, last February had 0 to nothing. We had 2002 at 1.1. Or I actually think it was a little bit more. I think it was a little bit more. It was about 1.5 inches for last February. But definitely on the average snowfall is about 16.6. We'll have to see what that happens. It is a very active month, start to the month, and really very active January too. Honestly, the past 2 weeks have been pretty active, whether it's temperatures, snow, looks like rain events eventually. So pretty interesting. This is the temperature outlook from NOAA, the Climate Prediction Center for February. They're forecasting above normal temperatures for much of New England, southern New England, and more our area over to the mid-coast, a little bit of down east Maine too. And rain, precip's a little interesting. Looks like my remote, oh, there we go. Looking at above normal precip, that's the green on your screen. So we'll have to see what happens. You know, it's hard to forecast for a whole month.
Of course.
Because last month they were forecasting above normal temperatures for January, and it's on the colder end.
Yeah.
So it is very difficult to forecast a month in advance. They do tend to update these forecasts throughout the month, but this outlook came out, I would say last week.
But if you looked into your crystal ball, you would probably say the groundhog will see his shadow Sunday, because probably going to be 6 more weeks of winter.
So we're actually going to talk about groundhog sets tomorrow on Arc Maine. So doing fun stories we head towards the weekend. But
love it.
Groundhog Day, my favorite holiday, right? I love when Groundhog Day comes around.
I have a random question.
Okay.
It has to do with what we just talked about in the month. So we have a storm headed our way Friday, which is January 31st.
Okay.
But it might go into Saturday, which is February 1st. So would that snowfall total apply for January, or do you think it would apply to February?
Interesting question, because we do run into this issue a lot when we look at the data. I would say that whatever fell on January 31st gets recorded in January, and right when the clock strikes midnight on February 1st, that goes on the February 1st. Because when we look at major rain events, storms, sometimes when we see data and it's like 4 inches of rain fell over the course of blah, blah, blah. And it's like 1 inch on one day, 1.5 inch on the next day. So That's how we do. We do
Good.
separate it to the minute.
I
All
could just
right.
say 11:59. That's the last snowflake of January.
When Cinderella turns into a pumpkin. I
No,
love
seriously,
though.
it gets counted in the last month.
Yep,
And then
that
the new
makes
snow
sense.
that falls or rain in the new month, that's how it gets recorded.
Okay,
so we
so,
really to the last minute,
This
last
weekend,
second.
we'll have a good idea of how much we ended January with, and then how we're
Yes.
looking to begin February.
Yes, so we'll talk a little bit more about it on Friday as
Okay.
well.
All right, so
Sounds
tomorrow you're
good.
talking Groundhog Day.
We're talking Groundhog Day tomorrow.
Okay, so I should
All
wear my
right.
groundhog tie tomorrow?
Yeah,
is that
that'd be
Are you
good.
going to wear a top hat like they do down in
No,
Punxsutawney,
maybe I'll wear
Pennsylvania?
brown for the groundhog.
Okay, there you go.
And what about mittens for this weekend?
I think that it's on. I
Oh,
gotta figure it
really?
out.
Did you
I
get
don't
a
know.
costume?
No, but I'm gonna hold him up like Simba from The Lion King.
Have John
Long.
take a
See,
picture
yeah,
of it.
yep.
That'd be awesome weekend highlights.
I know it would.
Mitten predicts the future.
Yes, hopefully he predicts an early spring,
Yeah.
or otherwise no treats. All right, Emily, thanks. If you have any weather-related questions you'd like to ask our Weather Authority team, just email them at weather@wgme.com.